Okay, so let's pretend we're going to do an experiment. We're going to have people drive up and down Denton Tap Road at different speeds, and we're going to see how many traffic tickets they get. Now, if you can't drive, maybe have an older brother or sister do this, but in reality, don't do it at all. That would be a really bad idea because you know that there are people who are watching for that sort of thing. So you'd get a lot of help in this experiment to figure out how many traffic tickets that people would get driving at different speeds. But let's just take a look at how to set up a graph for such a thing. So we have two things that we're looking at. One is the speed of the car, and the other is the number of traffic tickets they get. So which of these is the independent and which of these is the dependent variable? So we're going to use our dry mix helper tool to figure out what's what. So which of these is the thing that you control or that you're in charge of? Well, that's going to be the speed of the car. So that, according to dry mix, the manipulated or independent variable, that goes on the x-axis, okay? Which means that the responding variable, or the thing that changes because you're changing the speeds, that is your responding or dependent variable that goes on the y-axis, okay? So that's how we set up what goes where. You have to ask yourself those questions. What is the thing that you're in control of, or which of the things are you manipulating? And that's your x-axis variable. So one last thing I want to talk about is, or a couple of last things, is you want to put units whenever you have something that can have units. So the speed of a car, well, we would measure that in miles per hour, okay? Or you could use mph if you wanted. And then the number of traffic tickets, does that really need a unit? Because it's just a count of something. So actually, this one doesn't actually need a unit. We would just add them up, and that's it. So, and then the last thing I want to talk about is the axis and the scale. So let's talk about how you would set that up. So for the speed, do you want to start at 0? I would say if you had a car going 0 miles per hour on Denton Tap Road, that's probably going to cause you to get a ticket too. So I don't want to do that. I want to start out with something more normal, like let's say 30 miles an hour. And then we'll go up. And so we'll create little tick marks. And what you don't want to do is go 35, 36, 37, something like that. Because why? Because in this little spot right here in red, that's 5 miles per hour. Here, that's only 1 mile per hour. So that's an improper scale. We don't want to do that. We want to start over, and let's use a linear increasing scale. So if we started at 30 and we wanted to go up, let's do like 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. And then you can go as high as you want, hopefully not too much higher because that's getting downright unsafe. So that's how you would set up a scale. You choose your starting number based on the experiment itself, and then you go up by an equal number of units per box. For number of traffic tickets, you can choose maybe it just goes up by ones, 1, 2, 3, or something like that. Or maybe you want to go up by 5s. Maybe it's 5, 10, 15. We don't know. It just depends on how many traffic tickets somebody got. But that's how you would set up this graph. And of course, you would want to give it a title. You could call it number of traffic tickets versus tickets. A lot of words. Versus the word versus speed of car. So that would be an appropriate title for this graph.